The day went fine. That's what makes this harder than anything else you could be carrying. You completed what needed to be completed. You showed up to everything you were supposed to show up to. And then you sat in the quiet at the end of it, at the exact moment when today should have delivered the feeling it was built to deliver. And nothing arrived. What Viktor Frankl discovered in a death march, what the neuroscience of your default mode network has since confirmed, and what 3,000 years of scripture has always known, is that this emptiness is not the end of something. It is the beginning of the only question that has ever led anywhere real. Not sadness, not grief. Those have texture. You can at least name them, carry them, explain them to someone. This is something quieter. Someone hands you something real, good news, a connection, a moment that was supposed to mean something, and you notice yourself responding correctly. The right expression, the right words at the right time. And somewhere in the middle of doing it, you register. The feeling it was supposed to produce never came. You performed the response before the emotion arrived. And it never did. Viktor Frankl, a Viennese psychiatrist who survived Auschwitz, who lost his wife, his brother, his mother, his manuscript, his entire outer life, called this an existential vacuum. And he had a very specific explanation for what causes it, and more precisely, what resolves it. But here is the part most people never reach. Frankl discovered this in the 20th century. It was named with surgical precision 3,000 years before him. Because this version of emptiness does not look like suffering from the outside. It looks like a person who has their life together. And it feels, from the inside, like going through the motions of a life that belongs to someone who cares more than you currently do. That is because this experience is not the product of failure. It is most commonly the product of achievement, or more precisely, the product of orienting yourself toward achievement, or comfort, or productivity, or even service, without a transcendent anchor beneath any of it. You built something, you maintained it, and when you arrived, you discovered that the thing you built does not produce the feeling it was supposed to produce. Ecclesiastes 1:2. Vanity of vanities, says the preacher, vanity of vanities, all is vanity. This is not despair, this is diagnosis. Koheleth pursued wisdom, pleasure, and accumulation with more competence than most people ever have access to. And his conclusion was not that life is pointless. His conclusion was that life, oriented toward anything other than God, will always terminate in this feeling. Not failure, vanity. The accurate perception of a life built without a transcendent anchor, running efficiently toward nothing that lasts. In Man's Search for Meaning, Frankl describes a specific moment during a forced winter march through darkness. Exhausted, frostbitten, moving through frozen pre-dawn with no destination visible. His mind working desperately to find something to hold on to. And involuntarily, not through strategy, not through effort, his mind turned to his wife. She had already died in the camps. He did not yet know this. In that imagined conversation, in the middle of a death march, something shifted. His own words. For the first time in my life, I saw the truth as it is set into song by so many poets, proclaimed as the final wisdom by so many thinkers. The truth, that love is the ultimate and the highest goal to which man can aspire. In the most meaning-stripped environment possible, meaning arrived. Not because circumstances changed. Nothing about the march changed. The cold did not lift. The danger did not decrease. Meaning arrived because he chose what he would attend to. Frankl did not discover meaning despite the emptiness. He discovered it because of it. The emptiness was not the problem. It was the compass. What Frankl experienced has since been mapped with precision in the neural architecture of every human being carrying this experience. Dr. Marcus Raichle identified what is now called the default mode network. The DMN activates when you are not focused on an external task. For decades, it was assumed to be idle, background noise between periods of real cognitive work. Dr. Randy Buckner at Harvard corrected that assumption entirely. The DMN is not idle. It is the brain's meaning-making apparatus. When active, it is processing identity, personal narrative, and the question of what your life is for. Continuously, involuntarily, without your permission. Who am I? What does this mean? What is this life building toward? When people report existential emptiness, the specific hollowness of a full life that feels like nothing, the DMN is in a state of unanchored activation. It is running the self-referential loop with nothing to organize it. Frankl called it an existential vacuum. Koheleth called it vanity. Neuroscience calls it unanchored DMN activation. All three are describing the same thing: a self that is functioning without a story that answers what the self is for. And here is where this becomes specific. Because the instinct, when nothing feels worth it, is to change the outer life. A new role, a new relationship, a new schedule, a new discipline. But the default mode network is not asking a structural question. It is asking a meaning question. And a meaning question cannot be answered by rearranging the structure. The emptiness is not a problem to be solved. It is a signal to be followed, not a verdict, a compass. If this is the kind of thinking that addresses what is actually happening beneath the surface of your life, this channel exists for exactly this. Subscribe and stay close, because what comes next is where the emptiness begins to resolve. So here are the three moves. Not the moves that add more to the outer life, but the three that address what's underneath it. The instinct, when nothing feels worth it, is to read the flatness as a conclusion, an assessment that something has gone irreparably wrong. That interpretation stops the signal before it can complete its work. The existential vacuum is not pathology. It is the symptom of a meaning hunger that has not been fed. The first movement is not to silence the signal. It is to take it seriously enough to follow where it points. There is only one question worth sitting with right now. Not to answer quickly, not to convert into a plan, but to hold with the kind of honesty the outer life has been too fast to allow. What is this emptiness pointing toward that I have not yet been willing to examine? Write it down, not as a productivity exercise, as an act of honesty with the part of you that the outer life has been outrunning. Say it until your nervous system believes it. This is not a verdict. This is a direction. The instinct is to find something to be passionate about, but passion is generated internally and depleted by demand. What the DMN is asking for is not more passion. It is a narrative larger than personal history to anchor to. Dr. Buckner's research is specific. DMN coherence, the resolution of the unanchored loop, is produced by meaning-making that transcends personal achievement. The distinction is between passion and calling. Passion asks, "What do I feel?" Calling asks, "What was I placed here to do, and for whom?" Identify one place where your presence produced something irreplaceable, something no substitute could have provided. That is the thread. The first two moves are real. They are necessary. But there is still a question beneath both of them. One that neuroscience names but cannot answer. One that philosophy circles but cannot close. The question is not, what does my life mean? The question is, who placed meaning inside me to begin with? You cannot think your way out of an existential vacuum. You can only turn toward the one who is the answer to the question the vacuum is asking. Say this prayer with me. God, I am not bringing you a plan. I am bringing you the emptiness I have been trying to outrun. I have filled my life with the right things and felt none of them land. I am not asking you to make my life easier. I am asking you to make it mean something. Not the meaning I have been trying to construct, but the meaning you already know it holds. Anchor me to something larger than what I can produce. Show me the story I am inside. I am turning toward you, not because I have figured it out, but because I cannot answer the question on my own. Amen. Frankl was liberated from Turkheim in April 1945. He returned to Vienna carrying a weight most human beings will never be asked to bear, and he did not recover by reconstructing his outer life first. He recovered by returning, immediately, deliberately, to the work of meaning. He wrote the first draft of Man's Search for Meaning in 9 days. The book has now sold over 16 million copies, translated into more than 50 languages. Written by a man who survived a death march by choosing what to attend to in the dark. Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. The emptiness is the space, not the verdict, the space. And in that space, a choice is available that changes everything that follows it. 3,000 years before Frankl, someone mapped this same terrain completely and recorded where it ends. Ecclesiastes 12:13. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. Not a louder version of the same outer life, a reorientation of the inner one towards something that doesn't hollow out. That is the diagnosis, the reorientation, the acknowledgement that the vacuum was never asking for more, it was asking for the right one. And then Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. He knows the plans, not plans to confuse you with the hollowness, plans to bring you through it. The hollowness you have been carrying is not a verdict on your faith, on your capability, on your future. It is the most precise signal your interior can send, that the outer life has been running without the interior anchor it was always designed to connect to. The story you are embedded in is larger than anything you can construct, and the meaning you have been searching for is not something you generate. It is something you receive, gradually, through the willingness to turn toward the source and remain there long enough to be answered. The signal was never the problem. It was the most honest thing in you, pointing with remarkable accuracy toward the one who holds the answer it was always asking for. You were not made for a life that passes through you without leaving a mark. If this made something clearer for you, if it helped you understand what you have been feeling on a deeper level, then stay close to this kind of thinking. Because this channel is not about quick fixes. It is about understanding how your mind works, how your faith connects to it, and how to actually live with clarity instead of confusion. So if that is something you are serious about, subscribe, drop your thoughts in the comments, and keep building with me.